Hi there, Andreas here with XpressPads finger drumming, and today I'd like to introduce the all-new AKAI MPD 226 to you. It's one of 3 pad controllers that AKAI has just released in the MPD 2 series, and what all of these controllers share is a pad section that is just superb. And I think that's the most important thing for each and every pad controller. The pad section needs to be great, and this one is great. It is the pad section that comes from the AKAI MPC, so they're really thick, they are backlit, and for the MPD 226 you can also change the color. So in my case you see it's all off because I like to play pads that initially are in the off-lit status, but when I hit it I have a red light lighting up, and you can change that. You can change it to any of the 10 or more colors that are available there. And you could also change the off color, meaning that if you didn't touch anything, the pads will light and you can change these colors as well. And that's good if you have a setting that you need to play at night times or in a club or something, and this will help you to get organized and get structure in your pads. Okay, the next thing is that you see this controller section over here. You have 4 endless encoders, you have 4 faders, and those you can map to different continuous controllers or other MIDI elements that you want to tweak in your software. And you can either do this hardware-wise or software-wise. In another video I will go through how you can do this software-wise with the editor that you can download from the website. If you want to do it on the device itself, you have this LCD display over here, and you can go to the edit mode where you then just need to move a control or hit a pad, and the currently selected element will just light up here, and then you'll have all the different kinds of controls available for your changes. So for example, if I have a pad here and it's currently set to type note, you could change that via this rotary knob here, which is also an endless controller with some clicking. You know, when you turn it, then you really see the steps, or you feel the steps in your fingers. And when you have a setting that you want to keep, then you just need to press it and it's selected. And based on the type that you choose for a pad or for a controller, the other parameters that are available to you will change. So if, for example, I would change that to program change, then you might not see it here. Maybe this way it's better. But then the things that you can see there will change. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it as a note. The pad, I always take notes for the pad. And but you could also use it for any other thing, you know. Let me tell you as well that the pads have Aftertouch, which means that when you press them, they are pressure sensitive, and this way you can also control your software synth or whatever you like in your software, and that's helpful as well. Also, what I want to say about the pads is that you have 4 different banks per preset, and you can change them with this button here. So the same goes for the controllers here, control elements. There you have 3 banks, and all these things are then stored in one preset. And the good thing is that you can change the pad banks and the controller banks separately from one another. Also, if you want to change your pad sensitivity, you can do this in the global controls. There you'll have access to a couple of things like the common channel, the MIDI channel, whether you want to see notes displayed as values or as notes. Then next option here was the pad sensitivity, and I personally like to have a very high sensitivity on my pads, which means that I will just leave the threshold at 0.1. And I also like to have a linear curve in most of my applications, because this gives me the full dynamic level in playing finger drumming. Yeah. The third option that you have here is the pad gain, and I also leave this at 0 because I don't want to have any artificial amplification of my pad hits, so I just leave it at 0. As you were just seeing, with these 4 arrow buttons, you can just navigate through the menu. So you have these left and right options to go through the menu. And if there are, in any menu step, if there are many different rows of information or parameters that you want to change, you can use the up and down buttons and this will take you there. Yeah, I think it's really well thought through, this whole editor here, the way you can edit it via the LCD display, that really helps. The last things that I want to explain here, you have a full level knob, which means that your pads, no matter what pad sensitivity you have selected for those, will always be at 100% or a note value of 127, unless you change it to a different value, different max value. Then the 16 level button means that if you have one sample and map it throughout all the pad section, then you will start with pad 1 at a very low velocity, and it will go up to a very high velocity on pad 16. Then you have the tap tempo button here. You can press it a couple of times and the device will recognize the tempo that you hit the button with. And this is helpful if you, for example, control this control a software with this piece of hardware, and the software will receive that information and adjust the time accordingly, or the beats per minute. Then you have a note repeat function, which means that when this is on and one of these knobs here is selected, you will be able to just hold a pad and it will automatically repeat this pad in this time resolution. And finally, you have some control elements, so transport controls for recording, playing or stopping your host or whatever software you're controlling with this. And that makes it a very helpful device to control your software. I love it for finger drumming just purely because of the pads, but with all these other controls, you have a lot of different options to control software and to use it as a live performance instrument. And yeah, I really like it. Same as the whole product series. The MPD2 is really, as I said, I mean, the pad section is just so great, and yeah, that's for me the main reason why I say that this is a great product too.